Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 8 of the Marvel edition of Castles, Capes, and Clones podcast. We are going to be talking today about some Falcon and the Winter Soldier reactions, as well as Avatar reclaiming the top spot. We are Castles, Capes, and Clones, where we discuss everything in the Disney universe. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for notifications, and do like this post, as it really does help us out. Hi, everybody, and I'm Loren, and I'm here with my cousin and co-pilot, Rich.
Hello.
How's it going?
You all right?
Yes.
Once again, now we had 1 week break.
1 week break. And even then, we didn't
really
necessarily have a break. We had assembled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch Assembled?
Of course. Yeah.
What did you think of it?
I liked it. Like the one thing I wish they hit upon was it was Agatha All Along, the song.
Yes.
They didn't do it all. Because I wanted to see like maybe footage of Catherine Hahn singing it.
Singing that. Yeah, I would have loved it.
Or even just them talking about that song and how like that came about. Like, when did they know? You know, like, because they would have had to know what's going on. Like, how did they find out? Like, I think the story behind that song would have been nice to see. It's kind of like after The Mandalorian season 2, they didn't hit upon Luke at all. So it was like, I feel like there's 2 missed opportunities in those things, but who knows?
Right.
When they made obviously they made it a while ago because it came out the week after. So like, I don't know if maybe it just didn't think they would resonate as much.
Maybe.
Like, I don't think they would have predicted that I was #1 song on iTunes.
I know.
So
isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Although I couldn't believe it because I couldn't stop listening to that song for
everybody.
Like I played it several times. Like sometimes when I'm going to bed, I'm like, play it. Then I'm like, still awake, play it.
The Lopez's are like their modern day equivalent of the Sherman Brothers.
Right.
I think they just know how to resonate and have like, you know, all their songs are not super long or complicated or whatever, but they get the feel and the lyrics are like spot on for things, you know. I think it's a great partnership that they have with Disney, and you know, all they need to do now is write a Star Wars song.
I know, right? Can you imagine if they're like, we need a new Cantina song. Let's get the Lopez's.
Right? Or we need them to do a Star Wars song. We need Lin-Manuel Miranda to do a Marvel song.
Yeah.
And then done. They got they will also got their the equivalent of the Disney EGOT.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's awesome. I really like the documentary. For me, what was missing was Christoph Beck, the composer. Yeah, they didn't really talk about him, and I would have liked to have seen how, you know, or heard from him a little bit about his thought process in terms of writing for the different eras, just like with Lopez. So,
I mean, maybe we'll get something else down the line that's more in depth, like when all this is said and done. But you know, they had a lot packed into that. Even how long it was, like, you know,
it was like an hour.
Yeah.
But I loved seeing all of the sets from the 50s and the costumes that they were wearing, and the fact that they used like actual risers from that era.
Yeah.
For the audience, and the audience was also
All
dressed
dressed,
up.
so it felt like it. Yeah.
And I thought that was a lot of fun. Yeah, just all the detail that they put into that show is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite the undertaking if you think about it, and they pulled it off. So
yeah,
it makes me excited for what's coming next. So
yeah, definitely.
hey.
All right, so moving on to the news. One Night in Miami star Kingsley Ben-Adir is going to be joining Secret Invasion. Now, we don't know who he's going to be playing, but that's the news about it, is that he's going to be joining Secret Invasion. So that's kind of cool to get some casting for that particular show.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Skrull. I don't know.
Super Skull.
Everyone's a Skrull.
Right.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, we don't know if we'll see Monica next in Captain Marvel 2 or possibly Secret Invasion, or I don't even know when each is actually supposed to be released. Like, I don't know the order of these things.
Yeah. Who knows?
Captain Marvel 2 is supposed to be released November 2022.
November 2022. Okay. And Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
Big question mark.
That took longer than I wanted it to. I don't know. I'm trying to find when that is.
I don't think it's going to be 2021 though, so it's got to be Captain Marvel 2 will come out before Secret Invasion.
I feel like we're not gonna get, I think we're gonna get Moon Knight, She-Hulk,
Ms. Marvel.
Well, I think Ms. Marvel's coming out this year.
Sooner rather than later, yeah.
I'm talking about 2022. It's got to be She-Hulk and Moon Knight definitely in 2022.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's possible if that's the next one on the slate. No. Well, I don't know. There's so much. I don't know. There's so much coming out that it's hard to tell.
It makes your head spin.
Right? Like what is the Disney?
Yeah.
So,
That's
but
great.
I mean, hey, more stuff, and we know that it's coming. So,
yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, there was a final trailer release for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and at the same time, we've been seeing some reviews or like early thoughts about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I cannot wait. I obviously I'm going to stay up until midnight to watch this show.
Yup.
But I thought the trailer looked great. What I like about the trailers is that I kind of get the idea, it's like a buddy cop. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, like a buddy cop movie.
Yeah. It's kind of like that, but I have no idea what the plot is going to be. I just know what kind of film it's going to be. You know what I mean?
Or do we?
Or do we? Yeah, it could totally not be that.
Right? We don't know.
Right.
But I mean, like, if I just saw the trailer and you didn't say anything about Disney Plus or whatever, it looks like a movie trailer.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, the special effects are fantastic. Those flying sequences with Falcon.
Yeah, it's not cheap to do Falcon.
No.
So like I'm curious if this is, I don't even know, like, is this one director doing the whole thing? Because usually in TV shows it's multiple directors, right?
Yeah.
In WandaVision it was one director.
One director.
He did them all.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder, but I feel like that really needed to have a singular kind of vision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
pun intended. This, because if they're treating everything like long form movie, it makes sense to have one director, but that's like crazy. Like we don't even know what the structure is. Like, how do the episodes go? Like, what ends an episode begins a new episode?
Right.
So I mean, we'll find out in a couple hours, I guess. But
yeah.
Exciting stuff. Like I've avoided kind of looking at anything else about it. So I know you're going to talk about reviews.
Right. Well, I'm not going to go in depth
on
them. Yeah, I'm not going to, nobody had any spoilers or anything like that. But,
yeah.
It's just more like the fact that the show is just this, it certainly, it lives up to a lot of expectations, basically.
Do you did they mention if the press saw more than one episode?
No, it was just one episode.
Okay. So
from what I garnered of what I read, it's only one episode that they've seen.
Because what was interesting about WandaVision is that the press saw 3 episodes.
Right.
And the original plan was for the audiences that we were supposed to get 1, 2, and 3. So like we would have seen the first 2 episodes of a sitcom, and then at the end of the 3rd, we'd end with Sword. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So like, because I think in the first 2 episodes, people are kind of weirded out, like what's going on here. And then by the end of the 3rd one, which was the 2nd week, we were introduced to the, like, Monica leaving the show.
Yeah.
And that would have been like, oh, what is this? Right. So some people were confused after the first 2 episodes.
Right.
But because of COVID, they couldn't do that because they would have not finished. They would have not finished the final episode in time.
Oh,
so that's why they did it for the press, because that was a week prior and whatever. It wasn't like part of the schedule. But if they showed the 3rd episode for the premiere, they would have been behind a week. And Marvel / Disney didn't want to delay it 1 week. So they're like, nope, go. And so they went with the 2 episodes instead of the 3 episodes.
Yeah. Everybody survived that.
Yeah. Right. And I think, it probably would have played better for audiences to understand from the get-go that something's weird
is going to happen. Right.
There's this whole other part of the story. But
which is so weird to me because I totally got it from the beginning. I mean, like, I was invested from the very moment I heard the Marvel logo.
Right. I mean, like, it would have been more, I feel like, beneficial to really casual Marvel fans who don't necessarily know comics or comic tropes, or like, because like we come from a very comic book way of storytelling, so we know something's up already, and we can probably guess that this is something going on with Wanda, whereas I think the casual Marvel fan won't pick up on that, so they're like, what is this? This is weird, and not realize that this is probably something that Wanda's doing. Because I also think, like, we know more about the Scarlet Witch than what's been led on in the MCU, because in the MCU we really don't really get a hint that she can do this kind of stuff. Like we know she can make things fly. She has telekinesis. She did that kind of weird mind thing. But we didn't get the extent of her powers from what little we saw in the MCU. So I can see how normal audiences wouldn't have picked up on it, whereas we could because we know, who she is, right? But it's interesting that was a plan, but because COVID and all the precautions and all the things, they were delayed a week. Because this came from an interview on Kevin Smith's podcast with Matt Shackman, talking about the production. He was, and I think they asked him why it was done in the order they did and whatever, and he said originally it was supposed to be the first 3 episodes, kind of what they did with the press. And that's why I was kind of wondering if the press for Falcon Winter Soldier saw more than the first episode. But
I'd really like to watch that Kevin Smith interview. I'm gonna have to look it up. So anyway, Falcon the Winter Soldier coming out tonight at midnight. And I just can't. I mean, like, it's going to be. I don't even know if it's going to be an hour or half an hour.
I feel like the model for Star Wars and Marvel is
half an hour.
How long it takes to tell that story. I don't think they're confining anyone to a specific time frame. Like tell the story.
Oh, go ahead.
Just tell the story however long it takes. Like, obviously, you don't want it to be a 15-minute story. So it's like, make it at least half an hour long, but like maybe it doesn't necessarily need to be 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. Like, doesn't even have to be like constrained to 60 minutes. Like, like if we learn anything from The Mandalorian, like the lengths of episodes varied a lot. Same thing with WandaVision. They varied a little bit more. So who knows? This is also a different. It's not like sitcom-y, so like they're not. You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know. Like, who knows? I'd hope they're a little bit longer, but
we'll find out tonight.
Some of the Mandalorian stories were told in like 30 minutes, and like
and they
some of those episodes were like, oh my god, so much happened, but like only 30 minutes happened. So
I'm hoping that they're a little bit longer, because I know for me with WandaVision, I feel like it just started, and then all of a sudden we get that "Please stand by," and I'm like, what? No!
What?
Yeah.
I wonder if this is going to be like that, where every end we're just going to be like, more so than The Mandalorian.
I'm sure that it is. So
I'm really curious to see how this plays out. So be sure to join us on this channel, because we will also be doing a deep dive into Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
For all of the programs that you know and love.
Indeed.
All right. Well, Avatar has officially reclaimed its title as highest grossing film of all time from Avengers Endgame. And that's because they re-released it in China.
I feel like then, I don't know. I'm just like, it's trying to be a cutoff point at this point. Like, is every time one of them going to be released in the theaters and be like, and then Endgame reclaims?
Because you know it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Like, they're going to, like, at some point when the world is less crazy, they're going to do like, all right, everybody, do the 80-hour Marvel marathon. Endgame's to be a part of it. Does that count? Because technically you are buying a ticket to the movie.
Yeah, it does. I mean, that's exactly what they did in China with the Avatar. And
so the super special edition of Infinity, and it's called the Infinity War.
I know. That's what I would have done.
Like the
during
5-hour Ultimate Edition Infinity War, where you play it
Yeah.
all back to back.
Yeah.
Like I might do that. I might do that.
Right.
Like that, I think I can tolerate 5 hours. 5, 6.
Yeah.
I can't do a marathon of like 20 plus hours. There's no way. Not in the modern, well, not in like the old theater, like not in El Capitan.
Yeah, definitely not in the El Capitan. I love the El Capitan, but
2 hours
those
is good.
those seats are so small.
Yeah.
Although I can do it from the disabled section.
Right.
And there is a bench. So technically I could do it because then I could spread out. But I don't know.
No way. Like,
Right.
I don't even know if I could, like, comfort aside, I don't know if I can sit in a theater that long without going, like, need to do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
like walk around.
Yeah, but
whatever.
But
I mean, I guess I think that they let you go out.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like they don't stop, so it's not like you're leaving in the middle of a movie and whatever.
Right.
So like, that's the whole thing. So like, yeah, I couldn't do that long of a marathon. Not now. Maybe when I was younger.
I probably couldn't do it just because of my back and my joints will congeal.
There you go.
Yeah, if I were younger, I probably could do it.
Younger days when. But
I miss those days.
But yeah, I like though there was I don't know who did it, but there was like a graphic that someone made where they combine the Avengers with Avatar, because AV, and then instead of going, I think it was like Avengers gave way to Avatar. So they combined the two logos so it fits. So it's like AV and then in Avengers font and whatever look, and then Avatar or whatever Atar, I guess, was in the Avatar kind of look. It was pretty cool, but still, I'm just like, when will this end?
Yeah,
like
it'll just keep going.
I feel like just do like the normal first release box
already.
office.
I'm just kidding.
Because then what's going to happen when Avatar comes out again? Are they going to do another re-release of Avatar?
They probably will. I mean, I almost think that they need to, because everybody's forgotten the movie.
I don't remember anything.
I mean, truth be told, I like that movie. But I just don't, like, it'll just be interesting to see how, what they're going to be doing in the other films. I think it probably behooves them that there is now Pandora. So people are like, oh, Avatar, World of Avatar.
Yeah.
So it's probably a good thing. And the fact that one of the most beloved attractions at Walt Disney World is that Flight of Passage.
Mm-hmm.
For everybody to remember.
It is good. It's a good ride.
I really want to go on it so bad. One day.
Like I was anxious about that because I'm not a big fan of Soarin'.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who've never so these are rides in the Disney pathos. So Soarin', there's a version on the East Coast and a version on the West Coast, and you're basically in this like bench seat thing that kind of gets lifted, and like you're surrounded by a screen, and so it makes you feel like you're hang gliding, right? Because of my yeah, I get like vertigo, and when I don't feel like I'm strapped in, I can't, logically I know where I am, but my brain stops functioning correctly. So it's like,
wow, that's not a
I,
good thing.
yeah, like I freak out on those things. And the Flight of Passage is a similar thing. You're surrounded by a screen and you're like made to feel like you're flying on the what are those things called?
The Banshees.
Yeah, the Banshees, the dragon like things.
Mm-hmm.
But because this is where the weird part is, like if I feel like I'm strapped into something,
Uh-huh.
I'm fine.
Then
Like
you're
if
fine.
the less freedom I have to move around and I feel like I'm safe,
Right.
the more I can enjoy it. And it's really an experience because, you know, the whole thing is that you're supposed to be in this virtual, like the movie,
Uh-huh.
you know, you're playing the avatar. So like you're experiencing everything that your avatar does. And so you are supposed
Yeah.
to be this character or this blue Thundercat person,
Right.
the Navi,
The Navi, yeah.
riding on top of Banshee. And like, you know, I mean, you look at it, it looks like a kind of like a motorcycle looking thing, but you're pretty much like you're locked in there, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, because you're on a Banshee that's a living, breathing thing, you can feel it breathe.
Yeah.
So it adds to that whole thing. And then like, I mean, it is a simulator ride at its heart, but
Right.
it's
One day.
definitely makes you feel like you're on a Banshee. So
Yeah.
highly recommended. I mean, obviously a lot of people do because it's like #1 ride at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. I want to go on that. I do want to go on the Navi River one. I want to go on. I want to eat at that restaurant there and have the pineapple lumpia. I've already charted it all out.
I mean, you can get that here.
I know, but there's something about having it on another planet. It just sounds so delightful.
Just take it to Batu.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take it to Batu.
go to Adventureland and then go over to Batu. Like there you go.
Right.
This on another planet. Yeah, like there's gonna like, man, Disney World's gonna have a lot of new cool things.
Oh my god.
Next time
I know.
we go, like you have to ride that. Tron is gonna be out. Ratatouille is there. Hopefully, Guardians of the Galaxy is also out. The Mary Poppins thing, the Moana water thing, all the Epcot stuff that's
right
planned. And who
although
knows?
the Mary Poppins thing is on hold.
Is it still on hold?
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, sadly.
But and then Star Wars Hotel.
I know that's
the one where I'm like,
crazy.
When
I wonder if you can.
that?
I wonder if you could just visit it. I mean, can you just go and go around, walk around, or do you have to actually be a guest?
I feel like you'll have to be something because it's supposed to be immersive. So like you can't just have like if they're making you kind of wear in universe clothing, having people walk around with a Mickey Mouse shirt, probably not the best for immersiveness.
Right.
But I can't wait to get like sneak peeks at what that looks like.
Yeah, I know.
Even if it's just little snippets, just to be like, what?
The what?
Just to see little snippets and just be like, what?
Oh yeah, I know.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see it like live, like what this looks like.
Yeah, not concept art.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on, Sony Pictures' Venom Let There Be Carnage is getting pushed back to September of 2021. Now, I don't know.
I didn't even know that was coming out.
When it was, I didn't know it was coming out this year either, but.
Let alone that, like, it seems like, I mean, soon.
Mm-hmm.
Sooner than I thought, because, like, I feel like if it's really released earlier than September 2021.
Right.
Like, when do they film it?
I guess they must have filmed it. Yeah, because I mean, for September 2021, there's still a lot of post production.
Yeah, but it's like it's not like a drama where you just had like a one set. This is
right,
Venom, and if Carnage
and
is
all
in
this,
it,
yeah,
then
and
that's double the
right,
effects and stuff. And Carnage, if you're familiar with Carnage, he's a little bit different from Venom. Like I feel like there's more to his special effect than just Tom Hardy in a Venom suit.
yeah. I
Really?
see. I'm not as familiar with these characters as others. I'm not as enamored with them
Right.
as some
I mean,
people
like
are.
Venom. I mean, you know what Venom looks like. Like he
Oh
looks
no,
like
I even saw
right, but
the first movie.
Carnage is not necessarily the same. Where it could be a dude in a suit. It's like kind of
Right.
like
He like gets pulled apart and stuff, right?
yeah, like I feel there's got to be more. Unless there's like the Carnage in this universe is totally different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot to that special effects. So, like, they'd almost have to be almost done or done with principal photography.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I'm like, wait, when did they shoot this? Like during 2021 or 2020?
I guess they would have had to have,
right?
Yeah.
Amongst all that kind of
amongst all of
COVID
it all,
restrictions and
yeah.
stuff. So I wonder
because and they said it's pushed back.
Yeah,
so
that's why I'm like,
yeah,
that means it would have been released earlier than September, which probably means summer.
Right.
Which means they'd be totally in post by now.
Right. Exactly. That's it.
So
exactly it.
That's weird. Who knows?
Right.
I never saw Venom.
Okay, I'll give it this. It's not the best superhero film, but it's fun. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was not pleasant is a word, but I thought I enjoyed myself throughout the whole.
It was entertaining.
Yeah, it was entertaining. It's just there's little bits and pieces that I kind of like I don't know, but other than that, I mean it's not like some films that just really bug me, but it's to me it's largely forgettable.
Right.
But if I had to, like, if it was on TV and I didn't have anything else to watch, I'd watch it. Yeah,
I can find it, and I wonder if it's on any of the streaming services.
Maybe it's on Netflix. I don't know.
Let me look.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to watch this movie just because I did like the first movie. I'm not a big fan of Carnage, but then again, I don't know anything about it. So maybe they'll convince me and say, "You're now a Carnage fan." Who knows?
I mean, I'm not familiar with this story either, but I just know, I know enough about Carnage to know that that's a more difficult character to pull off.
Yeah.
Than Venom.
Right. So they've obviously got some kind of plan,
right,
in order for them to introduce themselves.
And who knows? Like it's Sony, so maybe they've got that Spider-Man money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they're like, yeah, we'll work with Marvel. We'll keep working with Marvel with Spider-Man, as long as we share the profits.
Yeah.
Then they put that money into better effects for the other movies.
Right.
I mean, like it's supposed to be in that universe, right?
Yeah.
Like the Spider-Man universe, but
it's supposed to
Tom
be.
Holland is part of it.
Yeah, I guess.
Because Vulture was shown in the Morbius, and that's in that universe.
That's another one that I'm more excited about that than this film.
Is that coming out?
I know
that was something was going on with that movie.
Yeah, I think that they want to have it released in the theaters for sure. That's what I heard. is that it wasn't a problem with the film. It's more that Sony wants to make the biggest bang for its buck by just releasing it in theaters and having a maximum theater going experience.
Okay, so it's been delayed until January 2022.
Yeah.
So you got a little less than a year before that comes out.
Right.
So that means Carnage, that's the Total Carnage is coming out before.
Yeah. Because that film was already almost set to go. Remember, we saw the preview. I mean, the trailer and everything. And but yeah, from what I read, Sony is looking at this film as it's going to be a good film, and they want to make sure that people see it in the theater.
Yeah, the original date that Morbius was supposed to come out was July 2020.
Right.
So,
yeah. It was. I remember it was not too long after the COVID happened.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm curious how that universe plays out, and having these two movies kind of switch release dates, if that affects anything.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I'm curious. All right. Well, the Avengers video game is getting a few expansions. The first will feature both Hawkeyes, Clint Barton and Kate Bishop, and the later expansion will feature Black Panther. I don't quite know what expansions mean, but I know I'm a nerd on almost every level except for video games. It's not like I don't want to play them. It's just that I am so bad at video games that I just don't try.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know you used to play like when you're younger, so let's go back to like Pitfall.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If Pitfall, I mean, it's a video game, but if Pitfall was released now and there was like online components where you can download parts of it.
Right.
It's kind of like that. Like you can download another level or whatever, but an expansion is sort of similar, except it's like a lot of content. It's like not enough to be its own separate game, but it's bigger than just a normal kind of like, here's a little thing. So it's like a storyline. It's like a whatever. So what this means is through the Avengers video game that was released last year, the Avengers game, it has a story and there's an end to that main storyline. The expansions are kind of like other stories that take place within that game. So like the first one is a Hawkeye centric one. So basically it's using the game engine,
having its own story.
But then it's you are Hawkeye and maybe Kate Bishop. I know she's in it. I don't know if you play both, but
don't you like in the main game? Don't you like switch characters?
Yeah. So I'm assuming that that's probably similar to what's going to happen in the Hawkeye one, where you are either Kate Bishop or Clint. For different aspects, and they probably have different sets of skills besides just the bow thing.
Yeah.
And then once that is done, so it's almost like if they made a Hawkeye game, but it's not quite as big as the Avengers game.
Right.
Using the same
just kind of the same universe.
The same engine, the game engine that they have it on there.
Right. Okay.
Right. And so that's the first expansion. You have to pay a little bit extra to get this. So it's not as much as a new game, like a brand new game.
Right. But it's
So
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm actually glad that I asked about this because I thought maybe it was just adding 2 new characters to the game, but now you're telling me
it's
it's
there's a
even
storyline.
more. Yeah.
And then that one after that's Black Panther. So I'm hoping with that one you're T'Challa and maybe Shuri and maybe my God, why am I blanking on the Warriors?
Oh, the Dora Milaje.
Yeah. I'm like the Jojoro something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe one of them or something. Who knows?
Okoye.
But I didn't even know they're making DLC or expansions for it, so that's kind of cool that they're doing it. Like I understand Hawkeye, because Hawkeye the series will be later this year,
Right?
So probably coincides.
I almost want to play it, but my problem is that I always get to a point where I can't figure something out, and then I just stop. I'm like, I'll do that, but it just seems so cool. Like I told you that I watched this guy for like a couple hours just playing Avengers, and it was like watching a movie. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So Kevin Feige has chimed in on the rumor that Chris Evans will reprise the role as Captain America. And he says, I rarely answer no to anything anymore because things are always surprising me with what happens. But that rumor, I think, was dispelled rather quickly by the man himself. And that makes me sad.
I mean, I feel like we got more from Chris Evans than he originally intended.
Yes.
Remember, like a couple years ago, he said he was done with acting altogether.
Right. He wanted to be behind the camera.
Yeah, and then we still got more of him, right? And then he was in Knives Out, so it's like, is he, or was he just kind of one of those like, I'm tired right now. I'm gonna say I'm done, and then he's not.
Yeah.
But I mean, like it's still vague-ish because he actually doesn't say it. He just says like, but I think it was dispelled rather quickly by Chris Evans.
Mm-hmm.
And like, okay, well, Chris Evans also said he was done acting like a while ago. So and here we are.
Right, exactly. That's too funny.
But it sounds like kind of like, Robert Downey Jr.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we kind of know he's done, but is he though? Like, if something brought him back, kind of like the sequel trilogy with the Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Like down the line, they got something, and they're like, we want to tell this story that needs you.
Right.
Will they be back for it?
I think that they
what if they do more what if animated things, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, what if Captain America did, because I don't know what they have on
Black
what
Panther.
Or like, because I know they're doing a bunch of things. Like, what if Captain America was a Skrull? I don't know, something.
Right.
Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, the what ifs were the sky's the limit. I mean, they had some crazy storylines.
What if I did a live action what if?
Right.
You never know. Like there's like, from what we learned from Marvel is that they're not afraid to try something. Like WandaVision is a total like out there concept.
Right.
And they're like,
and it could either
let's do this.
It could either succeeded or failed.
Yeah.
And thankfully it succeeded.
I would be on
because they know what they're doing. Yeah, that's why for me the measure is, if there's any doubt of what Marvel can do, it's that it took a witch and a android raising sons in the sitcom suburbs and making that the most popular show in the world. Think of that.
Yeah.
You just chew on that slowly.
I mean, they've done so many milestone things where it's like, who would have thought? Like the
Yeah.
first time, well, one, like even the Avengers themselves, the first movie
Yeah.
was something that's never been done before, right? Taking all these separate movies, characters, having a through line, and then all of them culminate in one movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Rocket and Groot and the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
They made those guys a household name. This obscure-ish comic, they made them superstars.
Yes, definitely.
Right? And you don't even see Bradley Cooper. Like, you don't even see him in like the making of a lot of times. It's just like,
right.
Except that Rocket is Rocket.
Yeah. He kind of likes to do that Robin Williams is a genie thing where it's like Robin Williams was the genie, but didn't really do a lot of like press about it or anything.
So we got that. And then, then they give us WandaVision. Like, here's a show about grief set in TV style sitcoms, right?
Yep.
And someone said, like, well, let's film a couple episodes in front of a live studio audience, like they did back in the day.
Yeah.
And Marvel was like, that's a good idea.
Yeah. I know.
And they'll also
I would have loved to have been in the pitch meeting for that.
Right?
Yeah.
Crazy. And like, who knows what else we're gonna, like, we're getting a Secret Invasion TV show.
Yeah. I know.
That's nuts. Armor Wars. Like, what's that going to be about?
Right.
We know who's probably going to be in it, but like, do we really know who's going to be in it? Besides Rhodey?
I think Ironheart is going to be in that.
Is that like Riri? Right? I don't even know how to pronounce her name. Like, it's R-I.
Riri Williams.
Is it Riri?
Yeah.
Is she going to be in it as... Is she Ironheart? She's Ironheart,
from what I understand.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, are we going to see Morgan again at some point? I mean, she was cast. She's in the extras, so.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe she will be like the new Rescue or something. Like, because Iron Lad, who was the original, one of the original Young Avengers, there's a whole convoluted story of how he is actually Kang the Conqueror, but an earlier version.
Who knows? It might still be a thing.
I mean, because Kang the Conqueror.
Because we're getting Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah, so who knows? I mean, it's just so.
They gave us Mysterio.
Yeah, Mysterio, and
they didn't go like, we'll make Mysterio.
We're gonna get Zemo
in the purple
mask. Thing. Yeah.
So, we're far beyond the pre-Marvel MCU days of you can't make Galactus a big giant thing.
Right.
He's got to be a big cloud.
He's got to be. Yeah.
If that was made today, they'd be like, absolutely, he's a big giant thing.
Yeah.
And here he is.
I know. You can't put Wolverine in a yellow and blue costume. If they put him in a yellow and blue costume,
They have to.
Out.
If anything, just to be like, see, it could be done.
I was just reading something about Joe Manganiello. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. And he was talking about Wolverine, and I thought to myself, he would actually make a good Wolverine.
Yeah, I mean, like, we bought in the fact that Hugh Jackman was Wolverine, and his version is like a foot taller,
right,
than he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, it doesn't have to be a short dude.
No, it doesn't.
But he embodies. Yeah. Not only the yellow, but like the original yellow and whatever costume. Like,
yeah,
really, the even more cheesy looking one.
Right.
At least for the first outing as
That
Wolverine.
would be so awesome.
And you just look at it going like, yep, that works.
Yeah.
I know they'll make it work. They will make it work.
I know, that's the thing. It's that I just feel like they would.
Right? You put a fishbowl on someone's head and it works.
Right.
Wolverine's costume will definitely work.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Anywho,
Marvel's got a lot going on.
Right? Exactly. All right. Well, we've come to the end of our program. Please leave below in the comments what was your favorite part of the story of the show, and please share our post with your family and friends. Subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for notifications, and do like this post. It really helps us out. You can always reach us at podcast@castlescapesandclones.com. Leave us your feedback, both good and bad. Reach me personally on Twitter at Lojav and on Instagram at Loren Javier. How about you, Rich?
You can reach me on both Twitter and Instagram at R2Ramasanta.
All right. Well, the opinions expressed on today's vlogcast are solely our own and do not represent the Walt Disney Company, its subsidiaries, or assets. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you later. Bye, guys.
Yep. Excelsior.